back to what would be day 2 of the border track. Last night we left off here in that awesome little noodle pasta sauce thing. That was great for tea. And then we spent the rest of the night up in the tent. Too cold and dark, starting to rain, and it did. In fact, it rained so much that even the high ground here is wet, soaked. Luxy got a bit of a wash last night. One of the downfalls of a tent that so far I've noticed is that thing there, it's actually got just a bar in it, just to hold it up like a bit of a shade shelter. It's not part of the tent necessarily. That got full of water last night, and of course we couldn't get out this morning until we pushed all the water out, and then it made everything else wet. So that's how our morning's going so far. Everything's wet, everything's cold, although it's not as cold as it has been. And by the looks of that over there, the mud is absolutely severe this morning because we had that little bit of extra rain. We might even have a bit of fun getting out. So, cook some breakfast and see how we go. Hopefully old Luxy will start up this morning. And with that, we're all packed up, ready to go. So, the plan from here is that we're going to cross that muddy field that's just out there, and hopefully we can get out of here. We're going to hit the highway for a couple of kilometres, and we're going to turn back into the border track. We're going to finish the track today, and at the very end of the track, we've got something very special planned. So hopefully it's not going to be too hard for old Luxy, because we're going to have a lot of fun. So, with that being said, let's jump in and make a move. We're burning daylight. So we made it down here to the MT Shaugh Track, and we're currently heading back towards the border track, which runs along the state, South Australia-Victoria border. We're going to cut a right-hand turn. We're going to head down towards Bordertown. That's the mission for today. But I just want to talk to you guys a little bit of my fuel cap. Alright, so I'll get a lot of people asking me why there's a piece of tin over my fuel cap. Well, I'll tell you a quick story about it. When I first bought this Hilux, it had a very bad issue of leaking out the fuel cap. So initially we thought, of course it was a weekend and I wanted to go down the beach and try her out. Initially we thought, oh well, we'll put a cover over it. Plastic bag wouldn't work because the fuel tank needs to breathe, and yet with a leaking fuel cap you get all the sand and everything up in there. So what we did to compensate for that, we put a tin. We cut a piece of Ovaltine Milo tin and put it in there, just over that little flap. Works a treat. And I've since then replaced the fuel cap, but I've decided to keep the tin because, look, this is nice and squeaky clean, no dirt whatsoever, and all the mud and everything we've been through this weekend is on the tin. Not a speck is on this lid. So I reckon in my book, that's a pretty good way to save your fuel from getting dirty. So this tin can stay right where it is, right until next time. Thanks guys, I hope that's cleared that up for you. So a little bit of history for you history buffs out there. I just wanted to stop on the side of the track because we actually found what the early settlers called a nougat tree. Now it's known by other variety of names these days, which I'm not entirely sure of what the name is, but what I know it's called the nougat tree, and it's a bush tucker tree. What happens is that when this land in fact is actually prone to burning, and when it does, what happens is the tree tries to revive itself, this particular plant, and it creates a sap, and that sap eventually turns into a nice sweet sort of like a nut. Alright, now bird. Yeah, there's another one. Beautiful nougat nut. Crack her open, nice tree sap. Look at that. So what happens is that trees, when they create this sap, it means they've got a lot of sugar in them. They try to revive themselves with that sugar, and of course, where does that sugar go when they don't use it? It makes these nuts. Of course, when the fires and that come through, they use that sugar and try to revive themselves, but it doesn't really work. I mean, sometimes it does, but other times it just leaves these nuts around and nice nougaty looking goodness. That's pretty good to eat. I enjoy those. Anyway, back to the Lutz. We'll get back on the road. What a day it's been. So, we just discovered something a little bit interesting, so let's go have a look at it. She's the old TF Rodeo by the looks of it. Oh, mud. new tyres on it. Long range tank. She's been here for a while, I reckon. Well guys, that's it for this episode of WORA 4x4. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'd really appreciate it if you drop a comment, maybe chuck a like up on this video. I certainly appreciate it. It helps me make a few more videos in the future. Right now we're going to pump the tyres up in old Luxie. We're going to head back to Bordertown for a pie that was recommended to me by a mate. Thanks Aaron, shout out to Aaron. And we'll go from there. So I'll probably see you guys in the next video. So we'll catch you then. WORA 4x4. Cheers guys.